Well, I've known Doris for close to 20 years and met really through her husband Bob when he was a congressman. So it goes back to her being the wife of a congressman as opposed to the congresswoman.
Well, I've known her for a little more than a decade, and it turned out both of our lives were changing in major ways at about the same time. She was moving in as the representative of the 5th Congressional District for the state of California, as I was moving from the Blueprint Project Manager to the Executive Director at the Sacramento Area Council of Governments. So we've been working closely together for a decade.
I've known Doris in association with Bob since the 70s, basically. And Doris was always so supportive of Bob, and she was always right there, right? And so she was very well thought of as far back as I can ever remember.
I feel like I've known Doris for most of my life. She and her late husband Bob were close friends of my parents, Mort and Marcy, and we'd often get together as families. And when we would, the talk would inevitably get around to Sacramento. Sometimes we talk about economic development and how to create jobs. Sometimes we just talk about how to make the city better. But underlying all of those conversations was a deep desire to make Sacramento better and a love for this community.
I think that's the quality of a real leader is a subtle leader. You don't even know that you're being led. You're just being set up, teed up, interacting with the right people, with the right thing at the right moment, given a very supportive, positive direction to go in.
Well, I think when I think of Congresswoman Matsui, I think of two things. One is her really assertive, tireless efforts to represent the interests, not just of her own congressional district, but of the entire Sacramento region in Washington, D.C. She is tireless at looking for opportunities both on the policy and the funding side to help this region grow and thrive economically and improve our quality of life. It's hard to keep up with her because she just thinks like a planner, and I've always been impressed by her ability to connect the dots and push all of the rest of us to continually connect the dots. Congresswoman Matsui totally gets that issue and is constantly pushing up at the federal level and down to the local level for all of us to understand how all these puzzle pieces fit together and they have to work together.
Well, there's a lot of ways that she helps. Some of it comes out of Washington and some of it just becomes because she's Doris. She's helped us to keep the Coast Guard at McClellan. She's helped to bring the Forest Service aviation to McClellan. It knows no bounds. She's worked in every area for everybody in our community. It doesn't matter what sector of the local economy you're in or what you're doing, Doris has had an impact.
Doris has been closely involved in about every issue that's important to people that live here. Whether it's fixing the levees and giving us greater flood protection, or trying to bring a new streetcar system to downtown Sacramento. Doris has been at the center of all of those debates and a tireless advocate for Sacramento and its virtues.
Well, Doris recognizes the real estate community, the development community, as part of the fabric of how things get done and built. And she recognizes the importance of understanding what people do as a developer, why they do it, where they do it, and the mechanics behind getting it done.
I was thrilled to learn that Doris was going to be the recipient of the Joseph E. Coomes Lifetime Achievement Award from the ULI. There's nobody that I can think of who's been a more effective or tireless advocate for the city of Sacramento and for this region.
Doris, congratulations on being honored by the ULI. It's a well-deserved recognition of your insight and your vision and your dedication.
Doris, I can't think of anybody that's more deserving. You've had a tremendous impact on the region. You have a tremendous impact on downtown Sacramento and all the planning that ULI stands for, the smart growth, and all the good things that are needed. You're there to help. Thank you for all of your time, your commitment, and for caring about our community. I can think of no one who's done more or cares more than you.
I want to lend congratulations and my personal thanks both to ULI and to Congresswoman Matsui for this Lifetime Achievement Award. ULI, of course, deserves credit for knowing quality when they see it and offering this award to Congresswoman Matsui, but there's no one I can think of who is more deserving for her accomplishments and her contributions to the planning field throughout this region in just so many ways. Congratulations, Doris.
As chair of ULI Sacramento, and on behalf of the Board of Governors, I want to congratulate the honorees this evening. Vision Honors was established to recognize outstanding leadership in both the private and public sector in our region's real estate and land use community. So tonight, our congratulations to Ali Yousefi, CFY Development of the Warehouse Artist Lofts Project, Bernadette Austin for ULI Member and Achiever, and Congresswoman Doris Matsui for the Joseph E. Coomes Lifetime Achievement Honor.